What's up guys, Steve here with your stimulus package update, and there's a lot that unfolded today. I've got some video footage for you, got the headphones in, ready to roll, as I let you guys know that this morning we heard from Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, who let us know that the next stimulus bill is actually being finalized this week, and it's going to be including that extension of unemployment benefits, the next round of stimulus checks, along with government aid for states and cities and counties, and a whole bunch of provisions that we've all been waiting for. So we're expecting that to roll out here very soon. And in addition to that, today we also heard from White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, and she's going to be letting us know the current status of that stimulus package. She responded to a lot of questions, and it was pretty good. We're going to be diving into that. And also, we're going to be hearing from Joe Biden today, who signed another executive order encouraging us to buy American. So I'm going to dive right in. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest as to all the things that unfolded today. But before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, it'll just take a second. If you like and appreciate these video updates, be sure to smash the like button. It'll just take a second and it helps out the channel. Like button, leaving comments, and sharing these videos out to anybody that you think might need to see them. It helps out the channel. Thank you so much. And also, if you're not already a part of the viewing community and you would like to stay up to date on everything rolling out right now, be sure to smash the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so that way as soon as I upload videos, you can get notified right away. And if you don't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram as well at SteveRam3. I do my best to respond to as many questions here on YouTube that I can, but I can't get to them all, so Instagram is also a great way to reach me as well. But now let's go ahead and dive into the latest that unfolded today regarding the new stimulus. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and dive right in, and we're going to start off with White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, who's going to be responding to questions regarding the stimulus package, letting us know a little bit about what they're thinking regarding the deadline, getting things done, and the efforts. Are they going to be reconciliation or bipartisan? So let's go ahead and dive right in.
And want to hear at home, the president has repeatedly stressed the urgency of the COVID relief package, the need to get something done now. With that in mind, in considering the reaction of Republican lawmakers to outreach that was done over the weekend, should there be a more narrow focus on the virus and vaccine that could be done sooner? And while we know that these White House officials have talked to the Hill, can you please speak to the president's personal involvement? Who has he spoken to?
The president has been personally engaging with Democrats and Republicans. We're not going to read out all those calls for you because those are private conversations, and we feel that's the most effective way to get this package moving forward. As you know, there was a call that occurred yesterday that we did a brief readout on from that call, part of our ongoing engagement to talk with Democrats and Republicans. And I'll convey that this is how, in the president's view, and we talked about this morning, this process should work. He puts his policy forward, his vision forward, and then Democrats and Republicans can engage and give their input and feedback on what they think is going to work and how to move this package forward. So in our view, this is working exactly as it should work.
But in terms of is there concern, Democrats themselves, Senator Sanders, has an independent, of course, and Speaker Pelosi has suggested the reconciliation should be considered now. The time is wasting. There isn't time for this sort of legislative back and forth.
Well, the president himself has conveyed the urgency of moving this package forward, and that's certainly something he has also conveyed privately to Democrats and Republicans. And it's not just him. There's urgency to the American people for this package to move forward, because we are going to hit a cliff, an unemployment insurance cliff, I should say, in March, where millions of people won't be able to have access to unemployment insurance. We're going to hit a point where we won't have enough funding for vaccine distribution. Nobody wants to have the conversation, no member of Congress, in May or June when we don't have the funding to put back to reopen schools, I should say. So there's an urgency he's conveyed. I will say, as it relates to reconciliation, just to take a step back, everybody watching is not as in the weeds on the Senate process as all of you, so let me just take a moment to explain. Reconciliation is a means of getting a bill passed. There are a number of means of getting bills passed. That does not mean, regardless of how the bill is passed, that Democrats and Republicans cannot both vote for it. So the president obviously wants to make this bipartisan, hence he's engaging with members of both parties, and he remains committed to that moving forward. Go ahead, Caitlin.
Just real quick, you were talking about the cliff in March. Does he think it will get passed by March?
Well, there's an urgency to moving it forward, and he certainly believes it needs to be there needs to be progress in the next couple of weeks.
So he thinks by March it could get passed?
Well, I don't want to give it a deadline on it, Caitlin, but I think we are all mindful and looking at that timeline in March as to when we will hit the unemployment cliff, and it's vital to get things done quickly and rapidly, as quickly as possible.
So you said last week he wants it to be bipartisan. Of course, we've already seen the Republicans pushing back on the price tag, the $15 minimum wage, and who is qualifying for these stimulus checks. So is he willing to come down on any of that?
Well, I'm not going to negotiate from here. Not that you're expecting me necessarily to do that. But again, the president feels this is working as it should. He proposed his package. He's getting feedback. We're having conversations. We don't expect the final bill to look exactly the same as the first bill he proposed. I will remind you, though, that the bipartisan package that passed in December had the same thresholds for the checks. $150,000, about approximately that amount for families, about $75,000 for individuals in terms of who would have access to that those checks. And each component of this package is vital to get us through this period of time. So that's how the president looks at the package, that each of them are essential, not just vaccine distribution money, but funding to ensure that people can make sure they are putting food on the table, that their kids are eating, that they have the bridge needed to get to the other side of the pandemic.
So there you guys have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So what we heard is that they are well aware of the fact that March 14th is going to be the cutoff, the deadline, that they need to get more provisions out. Otherwise, that's going to be when federal unemployment benefits are going to be expiring, and there's going to be millions of Americans that are going to be without any form of unemployment benefits. But she would not commit to saying that it would be ready in time because, of course, that's going to require the participation of all of Congress. Now, when she was asked, will they be flexible on coming down on that? She said, what about modifying maybe eligibility provisions for stimulus checks or some of the other provisions in there to make it adjustable so that way it's accommodating to Republicans who would like to see a smaller stimulus package? She said that they feel that every single provision is vital at this time and that they're working together, and of course there might be some revisions, and what he originally put out will be different from what actually gets passed. So she did suggest some flexibility, but she also said that every provision is vital. So it sounds like they want to get everything in there. So we'll see what unfolds. And when asked about reconciliation, again, we heard them say that they want to try to pass everything bipartisan. But of course, the issue there is getting all of Congress to agree, and to get them to agree before that deadline of March 14th. So we're going to see what unfolds there. Now, in addition to that, we also saw today Joe Biden sign another executive action that's going to be encouraging Americans to buy American. Let's take a look at what he has to say.
The executive action I'm signing today will not only require that companies make more of their components in America, but that the value of those components is contributing to our economy, measured by things like a number of American jobs created and or supported. At the same time, we'll be committed to working with our trading partners to modernize international trade rules, including those relating to government procurement, to make sure we can all use our taxpayer dollars to spur investment that promotes growth and resilient supply chains. And here's what else the action does. When we buy America, we'll buy from all of America. That includes communities that have historically been left out of government procurement. Black, brown, Native Americans, small businesses and entrepreneurs in every region of the country. We will use a national network of manufacturers called the Manufacturing Extension Partnership that's in all 50 states and Puerto Rico to help government agencies connect with new domestic suppliers across the country. This is a critical piece of building our economy back better and including everyone in the deal this time, especially small businesses that are badly hurting in this economy. The executive action I'm taking also reiterates my strong support for the Jones Act and American vessels, and our ports, especially those important for America's clean energy future and the development of offshore renewable energy. I'll close with this. The reason we need to do this is America can't sit on the sidelines in the race for the future. Our competitors aren't waiting. To ensure the future is made in America, we need to win not just the jobs of today, but the jobs and industries of tomorrow. And we know that the middle class built this country. And we also know unions built the middle class. So let's invest in them once again. I know we're ready, despite all we're facing. I've never been more optimistic about the future of America than I am today. Given even just half a chance, the American people, the American workers, has never, ever let the country down. Imagine if we give them a full chance. That's what we're going to do. I'll stop here and sign the executive order, then come back and take some of your questions. This executive order is entitled, "Ensuring the Future is Made in America by Americans, all of American workers."
Well, there you guys have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. A lot unfolding today. Yet another executive order done by President Joe Biden. So a lot of executive orders in just his first week in office. And this one's going to be helping stimulate the economy by encouraging us to buy in America from small businesses. So that, and also the stimulus package, as we heard, is expected to roll out in its official form as a bill this week. That's going to have all those additional provisions and will be voted on in the House starting next week. And as more information rolls out with that, know that I'll be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. And once again, if you like and appreciate these updates and you made it this far and you haven't already, why don't you just go ahead and take a second to smash that like button. I would appreciate it. It helps out the channel. And if you're not already a part of the viewing community and you would like to stay up to date on everything rolling out, be sure to smash the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that way as soon as I upload, you can get notified right away. And if you don't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram as well at SteveRam3. Well, you guys, I hope this reaches you well. Have a blessed evening. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.